Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Floss, back again with another video. And today we're gonna do the real review of the Moto Z and the Moto Z Force. Now, I'm not gonna make two separate videos because these phones are basically the same, but you get some upgrades with the Moto Z Force, and we'll talk about those in a minute. Now, before I get started, I gotta make an announcement. As of today, until the new Galaxy Note 7 comes out, until the iPhone 7 comes out, until the new Nexus comes out, the Moto Z Force is officially my new favorite phone. On a scale of 1 to 10, the Moto Z Force is a major go. Now, if you know my scale, 3 majors, basically what that means is this phone is sitting on top of the food chain. Now, why would you buy the Moto Z over the Moto Z Force? Well, I can only think of 3 reasons. Number 1, the price. The Moto Z starts at $620 for the 32 gig version and $670 for the 64 gig version. The Moto Z Force starts at $720 for the 32 gig version and $770 for the 64 gig version. So if you want to save a couple of dollars, get the Moto Z. Next, the Moto Z is a little bit thinner than the Moto Z Force. So if you're a lady, shout out to all the ladies rocking those skin tight jeans, or shout out to the dudes, a lot of y'all dudes that's down with the Young Thug Committee rocking those nut hugger jeans, you might want a thinner phone. So go with the Moto Z. And lastly, if you went to the store to buy a Moto Z Force and they were sold out and you mad thirsty, you want the phone right now, you don't feel like going to a whole bunch of different other stores, you don't feel like ordering online, waiting for the delivery, then get the Moto Z. Other than that, those are the only 3 reasons I can think of why you would get the Moto Z over the Moto Z Force. Now, if you want my advice, trust me when I tell you, get the Moto Z Force. Now, just like any other phone that I review, there's always going to be some things that I don't like. So let's talk about those first. Number 1, the price. The price is too damn high. Now, if you want the Moto Z, you're looking at $620 for the 32 gig and $670 for the 64 gig. You're probably going to want the 64 gig. So after taxes, after activation fee, you're easily looking at over $700. Now, if you get the Moto Z Force, you're looking at $720 for the 32 gig and $770 for the 64 gig. So after taxes, activation fees, you're looking at over $800. Now, y'all just seen me review the Idol 4S and the OnePlus 3. The days of having to spend that much money for a top-of-the-line style phone is coming to an end. So if you're not a super-duper heavy user, if you don't be on beast mode savagery with your phone, and you're just looking for a nice, fast, smooth phone with a nice camera, you're looking for a phone that you're going to be on Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat and Twitter, you're going to be browsing online, maybe using some GPS, you don't have to spend $700 or $800 for those phones anymore. So the price, too damn high. Next, the phone is not waterproof. Now, both of these phones do have a water-resistant coating that'll help you for spills and raindrops, but you can't submerge them. Now, I know what y'all haters gonna say. Here come the hater voice. Yo, why you always talking about waterproof phones? A lot of phones ain't waterproof phones. Well, yeah, that's true. A lot of phones don't have waterproof features, but a lot of phones do. Like the Galaxy S7 and the Galaxy S7 Edge and the Galaxy S7 Active. Now look, this video is not for one person. All right, I'm making these videos for everybody. So you have to remember everybody has different needs for their phones. If you work outside and you're going to be in the rain and the snow all day, if you're going to be going to the beach and the pool all of the time, you might want to consider buying a waterproof phone. Now, I know for me personally, when I go to the pool parties and all of that, I love having my Galaxy S7. This way I don't have to worry if I'm chilling by the pool and somebody run up on me and earth slam me into the water. I'm not going to be ready to fight because I know my phone is waterproof. So that's something that you're going to have to consider. Now, you'll probably be able to get a waterproof case for this phone, but it's just more money you're going to have to spend. Now, next, no removable battery. My usual gripes. Everybody knows the fastest way to go from 0 to 100 with battery percentage is taking out a battery and swapping it. That's why I love the LG G5. This is one of my official party phones. All right, if I know I'm going partying all night and I might not come home, I always take the LG G5 with me. I can throw another battery right in my back pocket. It's super small and thin, doesn't take up any space. Now, with these phones, you do have battery charge cases and the Moto Mods. We'll get into those later. But like I said, there's nothing better than having a removable battery. Next, no IR blaster. Again, this is why I love the G5. This is my party phone. 99% of the times after I go to a party or a club or go out on a date, I'm going to wind up in my favorite diner. Now, when you get to the diner and you got your IR blaster, I don't know about where y'all go to eat at, but at my diner, every time I go to the diner in the middle of the night, they're always playing Fox News, CNN, or MSNBC. Now, after I just finished drinking and I'm having fun and all that, the last thing I want to watch is some political news. And especially if you're on a date and you happen to be a Democrat and your girlfriend happens to be a Republican or vice versa, that's the last thing you need to be watching when you're trying to set that mood. So with your IR blaster, now anybody that has an IR blaster, if you had an HTC M9, if you had an old Galaxy Note 4 or LG G5 or V10, you know what I'm talking about. You could just change the channel, or if you really want to set the mood, turn the TV off. There's a lot of times I just turn the TV off and I could play a little bit of music from my portable speaker. So no IR blaster. Is that a big deal? No, but I don't like it. Next, no headphone jack. Now this is a good thing and a bad thing because everybody knows that's the wave of the future. All of the new phones, they're getting rid of the headphone jacks. That's cool. But now it's just one more thing that you're gonna have to carry around when you want to play wired headphones. Now, y'all seen the little adapter when I did the unboxing video. I'm not gonna dig it out right now, but you're gonna have to carry that thing around if you want to use your wired headphones. Now, I've been using these phones for about a week straight, and I just got caught the other day. I jumped in my car and I start driving on the highway, and I'm ready to plug my phone into the aux cable, so I can listen to some music in the car, and I forgot that little headphone adapter. So that was a major slap in the face for me because I didn't feel like turning around and coming back home. I was already on the highway, so now I don't got no music in the car. So the no headphone jack, not the biggest deal in the world, but if I was you, I would just go online. Now, USB to 3.5, those cables are dirt cheap. You could probably find them for about $5. I would buy about 5 of them. Leave one in your car, leave one in your gym bag, leave one in the house, leave one at work, and just have one maybe in your wallet or wherever you do. But the last thing you're gonna wanna do is be walking around somewhere and you're ready to hear some wired music and you don't got your adapter. So I don't like that. Next, no hi-fi DAC. Now, if y'all see, HTC 10 has a hi-fi DAC, same thing with the LG V10, hi-fi DACs. Now, if you're buying this phone as a media phone and you're gonna be listening to music 24/7, maybe you got a job that you're able to listen to music all day, everybody knows that wired music always sounds better than wireless. So whenever I go to the gym, I like to bring my HTC 10 so I can use my wired headphones in the gym and hear that quality high resolution music. Now the DAC on these two phones, they not bad, they standard, but they're not high res like on the HTC 10. And honestly, the one on the Idol 4S does sound a little bit better also. And with the Idol 4S, you get the Wave music controls, no built-in EQ on these. All right, so is that a big deal? No, but I don't like it. Next, now this is something I don't like about the build. I don't like the way this camera hump looks. Okay, I don't like that. Now, if you look closely, you see how far that comes out? Whenever you put your phone face down, the first thing that's hitting the table is your camera. Now, I haven't done any research. I don't know if this is some sapphire crystal or some old, Star Trek dilithium crystals. Who knows what's covering up this lens? But when you put your phone face down, if you don't have a case on, the first thing that's making contact with the surface is your camera. Now, over the years, one thing I've learned, as soon as you get a scratch on this lens right here, on the glass, all your pictures are forever gonna come out looking like trash. All right, now, there's an easy fix to this. All you have to do is buy a case, or you could buy one of the Moto Mods and just slap it right on. And now it sits flush. Okay, so I don't like the way it looks without a case, but with the case, I like that. And that's one of the same problems I had with the G5. If I take the case off, y'all know the back of this phone looks like trash. But with the case on, it looks pretty nice. Next, Now, this phone, both of these phones, they could have had a little bit more features. And what I mean by features, something like on the OnePlus, let me show you something real quick. You see how you have night mode? All right, that's a nice little built-in feature. On the Idol 4S, you got the upside down feature. That's nice. On the Galaxy phones, you got the always on display. That's a nice little feature. On the Samsung phones, you get split screen multitasking. That's a nice little feature. They're not on these phones. Now again, I know what the haters gonna say. Oh, when you get Android N, you're gonna have split screen multitasking. Well, guess what? Android N is not available right now. So if you pre-order this phone and you get it, you're not gonna have the split screen multitasking. Now, I do happen to have Android N on my Nexus 6P. And the split screen multitasking does work, but it's not as good as on the Galaxies because you can't pinch the zoom and change the size of the windows, but you will be able to use split screen multitasking at some point, but that point ain't right now. And the last thing I don't like, now this is kind of petty, I'm being petty, but the last thing I don't like is that these phones are only available for Verizon. Now, when you go to the website, it does say that unlocked versions will be coming this fall. But if you don't have Verizon, like, a lot of people, you're not going to be worried about this fall. You're going to be worried about this now. Right? So right now, you can't get these unless you have Verizon. Now, who knows when it says this fall, who knows when that could be? That could be Thanksgiving. So I don't like that. I understand every carrier has to have their exclusive phones. I understand. But they should have came out with this for Verizon and maybe wait about 2-3 weeks and then drop them the unlocked version or drop all the other carrier versions. Because a phone that's this hot with all of the Moto Mods and all that, people are going to want this. Now, if they, start playing games and wait too long to release it, on other carriers or release the unlocked version, now you got the Galaxy Note 7 coming out. You got the iPhone 7 coming out. You got the new Nexus coming out. They're going to miss their window of opportunity to make a whole bunch of sales. So I don't like that. I know I'm being petty, but I wish that these would have came out, maybe a Verizon exclusive and then wait a couple of weeks and bring out the unlocked versions. Now, we've heard that before in the past. Okay, something is coming out in the fall. People automatically think the fall means September. The fall could mean the end of November or early December. So I don't like that. Now, I know that's a lot of things that I don't like. I know. But now let's get into everything that I do like, and I'll get into a few of the reasons why I tell you that this is my new favorite phone. Number one, the build. Now, the build on these phones, nothing short of beautiful. If you ever had anything from Motorola, now I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, it's not Motorola, it's Lenovo. They still got the big Motorola symbol on it, so I'm calling it Motorola. If you had any phones from Motorola before, you already know what to expect. Quality. All right, let me take this case off real quick. The quality on these builds, I am definitely feeling them. You got the unibody design, got the metal. Now, it is a little bit of a fingerprint magnet, I will say that. But these are one of those phones that you're going to have to hold in your hand. Now, shout out to Motorola. The Motorola Photon is the phone that really made me fall in love with Android phones. Now, I had the Evo and I had, I think, another phone before that. But when I got the Motorola Photon, that's what solidified my love for Android. And this is no different. It feels and looks exactly like a high-quality Motorola product. Now, Motorola been making quality phones for the last 20 years, and this is no different. All right, so the build quality in this is a go. Now, here's one of the major differences between the Z and the Z Force. On the Z Force, you have the shatter shield. Now, if you don't know what the shatter shield is, it's basically like having a built-in tempered glass screen protector. So now if you buy the Moto Z Force, you're not going to have to worry about buying a tempered glass screen protector because it's already on here. Now, it doesn't come on the Moto Z, but it comes on the Z Force. That's why I say get the Z Force. So build quality, definitely a go. Next, the display. Now you got a 5.5-inch Quad HD display, resolution 1440 by 2560. That's 535 for the PPI Patrol. The display is nothing short of perfect. Now, this is a perfect display in my opinion. The colors look so bright and beautiful and vibrant. You get great viewing angles. The blacks are super black. The blacks are nice and dark and rich. You know, that extra black. You see why I use the black backgrounds? You can't even really see where the bezels start and end. The blacks on this phone look great. And the whites, not washed out. You don't have that creamy color to it. The whites are nice and white. So the display on this, 100% win. Next, let's talk about the camera. Now here's another difference. On the Moto Z, you got a 13 megapixel camera. On the Moto Z Force, you got a 21 megapixel camera. And you also have laser and auto. Matter of fact, you got phase detection and laser. Yo, my bad, fellas. My next door neighbor's having a barbecue. I could smell the hot dogs from here right now. So I'm trying to speed up this review as fast as I can because I'm hungry. I'm a fat ass. But anyway, you got laser and phase detection, and you got a 21 megapixel camera. So that's the difference between the Z Force and the Moto Z. As far as the camera itself, you got a few ways you can open the camera. We'll get into that in a minute. But let me show y'all a picture I took real quick. Let me find it. All right, here's a photo I took on the way into the airport. Look how beautiful these pictures come out. Now, this is regular lighting, not manual mode. This is point and shoot mode. Looks beautiful. Now, with the Moto Z, yeah, you're taking a little bit of hit with the megapixels, but the pictures basically come out the same. Just on the Z Force, they're a little bit more sharper, and it's a little bit more easier to focus. Now, let's take it to the camera real quick. Now, here's some of the camera features. Now, you have your timer, standard timer. You got your flash, you got your HDR. All right, camera just stopped on me real quick. Let's see. Now, you could take it to your menu. You got manual mode. Okay, so you can change the white balance, the ISO, all that stuff. You have slow motion. Okay, you record in slow motion, edit videos in slow motion. You got panorama. Now, the panorama works in landscape and in portrait mode. You have video, 4K video. And you got your regular point and shoot. Now, if you swipe over once, you could change the shutter sound. I like to leave that off. You got quick capture. All right, I'm getting a phone call real quick. Hold on a second, fellas. All right, y'all, my bad. That was my next door neighbor. Everybody want to know where I'm at. I'm the life of the party. Anyway, shutter sound. I usually leave that off for my clandestine photos. You could switch the storage between the micro SD card and the phone memory. Save your locations. Now, for the picture size, you got all the way up to 21 megapixels, all the way down to 8 megapixels. And video, you got 4K Ultra. So you could do 1080p or 720 if you want, but 4K. Now, here's a nice little feature. You see how you tap to focus? All you have to do is hold down, and you can adjust the brightness. So that's kind of dope. Adjust the brightness on the fly. I'm feeling that. So overall, the camera is a go. It's right up there with the Galaxy S7 Edge and the HTC 10, iPhone 6, LG G5. They all the same. Now, with the Moto Z, you will take a little hit with the camera, but it's not the worst. Low light photos, they come out good. Not the best in the world. Another nice feature about the Moto Z Force, Moto Z, you have an LED flash on your front-facing camera. All right, so that's important. If you're into the selfie game heavy and you're a night owl like me, you'll be able to take these nighttime photos and use a front-facing camera flash. All right, so I like that. Next, let's talk about the speakers. Now, you got front-facing speaker. They're not dual speakers, just one front-facing speaker, and it's nice and loud and crystal clear. Let me put it by the mic for a second. Yeah, how loud that is? Nice loud speaker. Now, I would have preferred dual speakers, but it is what it is. Speaker sounds good. Next, let's talk about the battery. Now, in the Moto Z, you get a 2,600 milliamp battery, and the Moto Z Force, you get a 3,500 milliamp battery. And one thing I would tell you about these batteries, they're optimized perfectly. Screen on time, heavy usage, I'm getting 5.5 hours with the Moto Z Force. Now, I got 4 hours with the Moto Z. I'm talking about heavy usage. And one of the best things about these phones, the turbocharge. This is the definition of the shit shower and shave phone. This is the fastest charging phone that I got. From 0 to 100, an hour and 20 minutes. So that means when you get home from work and you take a dump, you take a shower, you shave, you iron your clothes, you grab a little snack, your phone is guaranteed to be on 100%. Now, if you get off of work at 5 o'clock and you've been, going on savagery mode on Instagram all day long and you only got 20% battery, all you have to do is plug your phone in for about 15, 20 minutes before you leave your job, and you'll be good enough to last for the next, 3 or 4 hours. Battery life on this is a win, and the turbocharge, definitely top of the food chain. Next, let's talk about the processor. Now, you got the Snapdragon 820 with the Adreno 530. What does that mean? Basically, your phone is going to be super smooth. Now, this is another reason why this is my favorite phone. Moto phones, they don't use too much bloat. All right, you don't have too much bloat. And look, when you're dealing with Android phones, you have to be careful of which phone you're buying because of the skin. Now, all of these new phones, they're going to have Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow, but the skin is what will kill your phone. If you buy a Galaxy and you get that TouchWiz, yeah, you're getting more features like the multitasking and, a lot of more, colorful, fruitier animations and all of that. But that tends to give you some hiccups, and that tends to slow your phone down a little bit. Now, 3 of my favorite OSs. I like the Oxygen OS on the OnePlus 3. I like the HTC Sense OS. I like LG's US, and I like stock Android. But the OS on this Motorola phone, it feels like stock Android, but you get a little bit more features. But it's just one of the smoothest experiences you're going to get. Now, this is the type of phone that if one of your friends is one of these sheeps and they running around talking about, oh, I love Apple phones because Android phones be lagging all the time. If you want to get into a phone war with somebody and you have an Android and they got an Apple phone, this is the phone you want to pull out of your pocket. This phone is iOS Apple smooth. Now, if you don't know what I mean by phone wars, all you have to do is look at my Instagram. Whenever I post a phone picture, I just posted one the other day. Matter of fact, I'll pull it up for y'all real quick. Why not? So y'all can see exactly what I'm talking about with phone wars. Here we go. Hold on a second. Hold on one second. This picture right here. All right. How people look on Snapchat with an Android phone. Now, a lot of people missed the joke. The real joke was Snapchat is really an iOS app. All right. It's not optimized for Android phones. It doesn't matter which phone you got, the top of the line Android phone. The pictures look better on Snapchat from an iOS device. And I got an iPhone in my pocket right now. I could show you, but no reason to do that. It's just a joke. But if you read the comments, the phone wars started. So this is the kind of phone right here that's perfect for the phone wars. This is probably the smoothest Android phone experience that you're going to get. Now, even with the Nexus 6P, got a Nexus 6P right here. It's just as smooth. Yeah, it's nice and smooth and all of that. But you're going to have to hold them and use them for yourself. Of course, this phone is brand new and been using the Nexus for I don't know how many months now. So, all phones tend to slow down a little bit. The experience that you're going to have with this phone, this is how Android should run. Everything is smooth, no lag. Everything is crystal clear. You got the nice animations on these. Not too much animations to slow it down, but you got enough. As far as the Snapdragon processor, it's a go. And as far as the the Android, the Marshmallow, it's a win. Now, when this gets the Android N update, you will have the option to hold down and get the split screen multitasking. All right, y'all seen it already. What else? Let's talk about features. Now, you do got some features. Let's breeze through them real quick. Let me show you just off the top some of my favorite features. Now, one of the best features on this phone, and this is with the Moto G4s also, the twist to activate the camera. This is the world star hip hop phone right here. Now, out of all the phones I got, even with the Galaxy, double tap the home button, I don't think it's nothing faster than coming out of your pocket and going like that to activate your phone's camera. I don't think it's nothing faster than that. So that's one of the features that I'm definitely feeling. Also, I like the chop feature. 2 chops to activate the flashlight. So this way, when you're leaving your car in the middle of the night, 2 chops, check for any loose contraband, any change, chop it back off. Definitely feeling that. Now you have your fingerprint sensor that opens and unlocks the phone. And I will go on record. Now, till today, I thought the OnePlus 3 had the best fingerprint sensor, but I'm gonna have to say these are tied up. All right, the Moto Z and the Z Force, the fingerprint sensor, look how it's almost too fast. It's almost too fast and too sensitive. Now you see, I'm using different areas of the thumb, and it just works every single time. And I like the feature that you could just hold it to turn the screen off. Now, another feature that's dope, the sensors. So you got sensors on the bottom and sensors on the top, and these sensors are super sensitive. So once your hand gets by your phone, it's gonna activate your screen. Now, you know, sometimes when you have phones that have those sensors, you gotta be going like this, trying to activate it so you can see the time. You're never gonna have that problem with this. Soon as you get by those sensors, it turns on. Now you do have a feature. You see how, now if I hold this down, Google Play Music, if I had notifications, you get a little vibration. I could swipe up and take me directly to that app. See my Google Play Music, or I could swipe down and dismiss it. So right now I got nothing. You got your on-screen buttons. Let's make sure we didn't miss anything. Now for display. Now you can have, you see how I got it set up right now with the notifications. Take a look at this one. Let's activate it. You see, got Gmails. You could turn that on and off, and you could also show what apps, block certain apps. And you could also set it to, you see how I have it on this one, where you could just see the Gmail, but you can't read the message. So you can leave that like that if you want, or if you don't have anybody, playing around with your phone but you, then you can let it show the messages. You can also set it to keep your screen dark from a certain amount of time to a certain other amount of time. So this way, maybe you sleep from 11 to 6 a.m. You don't need your phone coming on and off. You're not even going to be checking the messages. So leave it off. And I leave it on vibrate touch. Now you do got some gestures. I never use the voice actions. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't like using voice actions. I just use the Google Now voice search. So you see the approach. That's this right here. All right, approach for Moto display. That's the sensors. Attentive display. That's the same thing like on the Galaxy phones. As long as your phone is on, it uses your front-facing camera to detect that you're looking at it, and it'll keep the screen on. You've seen the chop twice for the flashlight. Now, you got flip for do not disturb. If you activate that, you don't have to do anything else. Just activate it. Now, as soon as you go somewhere and you don't want to be disturbed, just turn your phone over. All right, now you got the swipe to shrink. I showed y'all that for one-hand usage. To exit out anything black. This is kind of dope. So now if you're buying this phone for a lady and she got small fingers and she don't like these big phones, set it up like this, and now you can use one-hand operation. And everything works in one-hand mode. When you're ready to get rid of it, touch any part of the screen that's black, and it'll deactivate. And the twist for quick capture, we already went over that. So that's a lot of the features on this. Pretty much, basically like a stock Android phone. Another feature that's kind of hot though, is the phone does work in landscape mode from the home screen. So this is hot if you got your phone on a car dock. When you get in your car, place it on the car dock, and you can rock out like this. Now, you don't have full upside down mode, but you got portrait and landscape. So that's not bad. Next, let's talk about the lag factor on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being super smooth, no lag at all, and 1 being the most laggiest phone from 2001. I'm going to have to give this, I'm going on record again, I'm going to have to give this a 10. I've been using both of these phones for a week straight, hasn't lagged once. So this is an official lag-free Android phone. No lags, no hiccups, no nothing. All right, so if you're looking for a stock Android experience with a little bit more features, this is the way to go right here. Lag factor, complete 10, no lag at all. Next, now this is the last thing we're going to talk about. Matter of fact, we'll get into the Moto Mods too. Why not? Floss factor. Now, if you don't know what the floss factor is, that means when you pull out your Moto Z Force and somebody pulls out their Galaxy S7, somebody pulls out the LG G5, you got one of these OnePlus fanboys come out with a OnePlus, somebody got the Nexus 6P, where do you sit at in the food chain? Are you on top of the food chain, or do you got to fall back and wait for everybody to come, to leave, and then you could come back out and be the man? Well, floss factor on this one right now, I'm going to say is at maximum level. First of all, you can only get this from Verizon, so that means a lot of people ain't going to have this for the first couple of months, or maybe first minimum a few weeks. So you're going to be the only person with this phone, and everybody's going to see, because you got that round camera in the back, floss factor off the charts. And what really kills this phone, and when I say kill, I mean that in a good way, the Moto Mods. The Moto Mods. Now, the Moto Mods, this is the reason, matter of fact, this is part of the reason why this is my new favorite phone. First of all, it's the smoothest Android phone yet. The battery lasts forever. It's the fastest charge phone, and the Moto Mods. All right, so let's get into the Moto Mods real quick. First one you got is the Moto Style Shell. Now, this one is going to run you $20. So far, I only seen this color, but you know they're going to have 1,000 of these. Snaps right on. Now, these use magnets. All right, so you can see for yourself. These pins, they don't stick up that much. All right, they're pretty much flush, but there's magnets built into the phone. You see? Now, a lot of people was asking, once you put this on, is it easy to come off? And the answer is no. You're not going to shake this around and let it fall off. What's this? Somebody about to get knocked out? Ooh! All right, let me save that. All right, you're not going to shake this around and have the Moto Mod fall off. So you ain't going to have to worry about that. So this is the Moto Style Shell. Let me take this one off real quick. $20 on this. Now, next, I'll leave it on this. Now, this is good to get rid of those fingerprints. Now, you see, even with this one, now it is 110 degrees out here today, so I am sweating like a savage. But in a regular day, you're not gonna have this amount of fingerprints. Next, you got the Incipio Power Pack. Now, this is so hot right here. Now, this is actually the Toomey version, but they sell the Incipio Power Pack. That one's gonna run you $60. It comes in two versions. You got this version right here. All right, let me show you how this works. You slap this on. No pairing, no unnecessary buttons to press, and you see it just started charging up the phone. All right, so this comes in two versions. You got the version like this, and you also have one that's a wireless charge version. So you'll be able to wireless charge your battery case with the Incipio Power Pack. That one is $60. Now, let me show y'all my favorite mod, and part of the reason why this is my favorite phone. The JBL Sound Boost. This is my favorite mod right here. I think every phone should have something like this available for it. This one is going to run you $80. Now you get 10 hours worth of music time with this. Again, no pairing or nothing. Slap it on your phone and it's automatically activated. All right, you don't have to do anything else. Now, let me give you a before and after. Matter of fact, I could use the same phone. I'll give you a before and after the sound pack, just so you can hear what it sounds like. All right, so here's the music. All right, now keep in mind this is USB-C. All right, to charge it up. Hold up, let me just cover one more thing. This is USB-C to charge it up, and a lot of people was asking, when you plug this in, do you get extra battery to your phone? And the answer is no. All right, you have to charge this up separately. All right, you can't charge it while your phone is on. You charge this up separately, and it doesn't give you extra power. Now let's play the music. Now watch when I drop the sound boost on. Y'all ready? You hear it, right? Here it goes.
Like the top of the Porsche so fast. If I rap, it's like damn, I can skate through the scene. This is not for.
I don't know if y'all was grabbing a snack or something. Maybe y'all didn't hear that. Let me do that again. All right. This is from the speakers. Now here we go. Watch the difference.
Condo OT, but that shit's just a trap. Race like a bus, how I sit in the back. It's like a parade.
And you get a kickstand.
Don't like a Trump, how I sit on the top. I got some bits, I let sit for the drop. I got some bitches addicted to tickets and luggage. It fits for my budget. I'ma ride for my homie, die for my homie if I ever have a drop.
I am completely blown away by this JBL sound mod. This could be the single most important thing about this phone to me, and this could probably be the thing that's pushing it as my favorite phone. the sound boost. Now this also works as a speakerphone. All right, so now say you got to go to a meeting or something and you want to do a little conference call, put the phone face down on the table. This is a really loud speakerphone, but I'm using it for the music and the kickstand. So this mod right here is crazy. Now you do have one more mod. You got the InstaShare projector. That one's gonna run you $300. I don't have that one yet, but when I get it, I'll do a little video on that. Now, when you take it to the website, Moto does say that third-party developers are working on more mods. So just think of all of the possibilities. I'll just name a few. Y'all remember that that iPhone 5 case I had that had the built-in Swiss Army knife and bottle top opener and all that stuff? Imagine a mod that you could just drop on like this. Then you press a button. You got a little foldable knife, got a screwdriver, bottle top opener, maybe a cigarette lighter. That could be kind of dope. You can also think about a mod like this. Now, these are just off the top of my head. Imagine if you had a little suction built onto this and you could just suction this into your car. And this would be in your car like this. Then when you come in your car, all you got to do is take your phone and drop it right on the Moto mod. And when you're ready to break out, take it off. So suction cup mod, something to think about. Maybe a mod that has a little battery built into it with a little GPS tag locator. So this way, you put it on your phone. It looks just like a regular case. Maybe something that you have to charge up once a week. And then this way, if you lose your phone, even when your phone is off, you could find a computer or another phone and you could GPS locate your phone. That's a hot little idea. Or something like this. Check this out. Now, y'all see these little camera lenses like this? Imagine a mod that has one of these fisheye multi-angle lenses on it. Put it on. It covers up your camera and you just spin it and have different kind of camera lenses. That would be so dope. Not to mention, you could just think of anything. Now, you got a battery in this one. Imagine if this has some kind of rotating disco light. So you put it on the table and you got disco lights on the ceiling. So many things possible with these modular designs. Now, look, I wasn't trying to bash LG last time. Shout out to LG for being innovative and coming out with a modular phone. But it just didn't work out. It's too much hassle. When you want to change the modules on this LG phone, you got to take your case off. Then you got to take the battery off. You got to take the battery off and you change the module and then you got to restart the phone. That's way too much stuff. With this one, when I'm ready to take this mod off, that's it. This is how modules are supposed to be. Go from music to battery in less than 10 seconds. That's how a mod is supposed to be. So shout out to Motorola. Y'all hit a home run with this phone. On a scale of 1 to 10, the Moto Z is a win and the Moto Z Force is my new favorite phone. Now, that's only going to be until the new Note comes out or until the Nexus or the iPhone 7. We'll see. But as of today, this is it. So let me clean this off real quick and we'll get up out of here. Anyway, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about these phones right here. Let me know if y'all going to cop one. And let me know if there's anything that I missed and y'all want to see fingerprints like this. I got OCD. I got OCD and I got fat man-itis. This whole time I've been thinking about hot dogs. Anyway, like I said, if there's anything that I missed and y'all got any questions, hit me up in the comment section. Y'all know how we do. Shout out to everybody that rock with me on Facebook, Foursquare, Twitter, Google+. Shout out to all the Google gangsters. I see y'all holding down that Facebook page. Shout out to everybody hitting me up on Voxer. And a special shout out to everybody rocking with me on Instagram. Y'all know that's where I'm at full time, 100% full throttle. And a special shout out to everybody rocking with the new stream on Sundays. Y'all already know, Stream Gangsters on deck. Get your drinks ready. No meat boys allowed. Oh yeah, special shout out to everybody following me on Snapchat, Flossy_Carter. That's where I'm at. And a special shout out to the notification squad. I see y'all in the comments section early. #salute. Oh yeah, one more thing. I almost forgot. Fellas, ladies, say it with me. All y'all haters, all y'all trolls, close your eyes and picture me rolling. It's your boy Floss, I'm out. Deuces. Spock, one to beam up. Energize.
it.